Uh, uh, Hello everyone, it's me, the real me, and I'm back with, yeah, you see the title, you see the thumbnail, you know what it is. This is the, 2025 Darkest Dungeon 1 District Tier List. Yeah, that's that. You know how to read, so, yeah, read these. Like, the tiers stand for these. And turns out I'm kind of a fake gamer because, yeah, I don't know which district stands for which just by looking at the drawings, at least not 100% sure. So, a friend asked me to make this and kind of start with the most important ones first, but I think I'll just go from top left and then move on from them. From there, yeah. So this one, if I remember correctly, this one is the give me a moment. It's the Miasmal Orchard. So what does the Miasmal Orchard do? The Miasmal Orchard is it's this one, yeah. So it costs 99 shards to build. Yeah. Like as with the Color of Madness districts, you don't need blueprints to build them. You just need shards or memories, yeah. If you build this one, when you use medicinal herbs, the hero gets a plus 25% disease resist buff. And if you use anti-venom, it gives the hero plus 33% blight resist buff, which is okay, quite good. So the medicinal herbs, yeah, sometimes, a lot of times even, when I use Hellion, I just use Revel at the end of a quest, and then I use herbs on the heroes to give them plus 25% resist buffs, and then I end the quest before this buff runs out, and then every hero who's at level 2 or above, they take random disease checks when they end the quest, and yeah, this thing helps them resist the disease checks, so it's really good. And then anti-venom, this one's the real kicker in my opinion. Most of the deaths that happen to metagamers or nerds, the deaths happen from a hero being at death's door and also having damage over time, bleed or blight on them. So what happens is a hero just enters death's door and then dies immediately from bleed or blight before the player can do anything about it. So if an enemy blights you, yeah, and then if you have to use anti-venom, it means that the hero will gain plus 33% blight resist buffs, and then what happens is that the hero is less likely to get blighted by such enemies, and then the death store plus damage over time deaths, they become less likely to happen. This is fairly good. The price is also just 99 shards. You don't need blueprints to build them. So my final verdict is B tier. Definitely worth building. I tend to be, tend to build these in my estates. Yeah. Moving on, which is this one? This one, let's check. I just want to be sure. I don't want to be spouting off bullshit. So that one seems to be Geological Study Hall. Okay, so Geological Study Hall, yeah, you pay 125 shards for gem inventory stacking increased by 1. Yeah, so gems refer to gems, including puzzling trapezohedrons, but pews from Prophet, the Prophet boss battle, or tapestries, they don't apply. So the peak value you can get from Geological Study Hall tends to be, let's say, how do I say this? You just hoarding lots of gem loot items, yeah, or you killing a collector, then also looting a secret room to have 4 puzzling trapezohedrons in your inventory, but those four trap 4 puzzling trapezohedrons only taking 2 inventory slots instead of 4. So it sounds good, but the thing is, by the time you kill Miller and then, farm shards for Geological Study Hall, your loot problems are basically solved. Should be solved unless you're playing terribly. So, also, if you kill Miller and then unlock Endless Harvest, it's for nerds and metagamers, it's all the infinite loot you ever want because, yeah, endless harvest quests, they don't pass weeks, they don't skip weeks, so yeah, you just you just send one hero, send one shard mercenary to the Endless Harvest, and you make them retreat. And what happens is that the Endless Harvest mercenary roster will, the Endless Harvest shard mercenary, yeah, they get reset on the stagecoach. You can just keep getting fresh shard mercenaries, like, yeah, just by skipping weeks, and then you just send them to the Endless Harvest. You kill enemies for loot. So yeah, this doesn't really do much. Yeah, so I'll put this at a C. I would, yeah, I would put this at a C. I would rate this even lower if it actually cost like blueprints to build. Moving on, this, oh yeah, this is the Tainted Well, if I remember correctly. It's, give me a moment. Yeah, it's the Tainted Well. So let's look at what the Tainted Well does. It costs 99 shards to build. Yeah, holy water increases resist buff amount like blight, bleed, debuff, disease from 33% to 45%. It's freaking good. The laudanum thing I honestly don't care much about. It adds a minus 40% stress buff to the used hero, but whatever. Yeah. As I said earlier with Miasmal Orchard, most deaths for nerds and uber nerds come from death store onto damage over time. So holy water just helps prevent that. It's really good. Also, like plus 45% resist. It helps a lot for, like, I don't know, like the Siren boss fight, because the boss fight still has Siren target charm according to, you know, debuff resist, and also plus 45% disease resist is more than 33% disease resist. So yeah, it's good. I honestly rank this at A. Yeah, personally, I rank this at A. Like, I don't care what other people say. Like, some nerds might say it's more like a B, but I put this at A. Yeah, I just really like this personally. This one should be Altar of Light, if I remember correctly. It should be, oh yeah, Altar of Light. Let me just check. Yeah, I'm right. So let's go. Altar of Light. So this costs 200 freaking deeds to build. Holy heck. That's a lot, by the way. And that's like one blueprint, because yeah, blueprint, and then Crusader Vestal Flagellum receive 10% stun resist and 10% healing skills. 10% stun resist is good. It's good for every single hero. It's arguably better for heroes that can heal. Plus 10% healing skills, it's quite significant on Crusader actually. It's not that big on Vestal, although I wouldn't say it's bad. And for Flagellant, it's honestly not that big, because plus 10% healing skills don't apply for Reclaim, Regen, Restoration. And plus 10% healing skills apply only on Exsanguinate and Redeem, which is something, but not that big. It's freaking expensive, holy heck. Yeah. I'd, uh, I give this B. Yeah, it's worth building. Yeah, its priority isn't as high as some of the really good stuff, but still. Ah, yes, this is Bank. Yeah, I definitely remember that one. So it's Bank. I think I put that up in my thumbnail. So Bank. Yeah. Let's see what Bank does. So some people really love Bank. Interest gained on safe gold 5% per week. This can like this can stack, so you can basically gain like tens of thousands of interest per week, and then in the post game, the bank will let you hit 2 billion gold. So it's something, but let's see. So it costs like 15,000 gold to build, and it costs like 50 portraits to build and one blueprint to build. So some people actually build week 10 bank, and they say like, I'm gonna build week 10 bank, and I'm just gonna hoard gold, and I'm gonna solve all my gold problems like that, easy peasy. And any nerd or metagamer worth their title will say building bank is a shit move for early game. Yeah, it's a shit move. Let me explain why. 15,000 gold is quite huge for the early game, especially if you're playing some arbitrary self-imposed challenge run. But yeah, 50 portraits is also freaking huge. So you should know this, but portraits stack to 3 per inventory slot, so even with your entire 16 inventory slots, you can't gain 50 portraits in one run. And 50 portraits is absolutely huge. You could unlock level 2 skills, and then unlock level 3 skills, and then unlock level 4 skills with 50 portraits and have some portraits left as change. In the early game, what you want is your heroes to have upgrades, to unlock upgrades, to have gold for upgrades, so that heroes don't die. Like, 15,000 gold, 50 portraits there. 15,000 gold is quite huge for early game, and 50 portraits, like, it's enough to unlock level 4, level 2, level 3, level 4 skill upgrades. I don't know what else to say. Also, don't be a chump. Don't use 50 portraits to get bank for your gold problems. Like, get cost reduction upgrades with your portraits. That will save you a lot of gold without like having to like amass a lot of gold. So what bank does is it's useful when you already have lots of gold. Yeah. And the thing is, for early game, you just get upgrades to kill enemies consistently. And for the late game, like any metagamer or nerd worth their title, they won't have problems in the late game. Like typically, they have all their gold issues and all their heirloom issues solved, all their upgrade issues solved before they enter champion. So yeah, building bank is like, it's not necessarily terrible to build bank after you build all of the other districts that do more and make more sense. I mean, I know players that build bank before uber late game, and that was myself, but only for like arbitrary self-imposed challenge runs. I do stuff like Deathless level 1 weapons Blood Moon runs, and for that one, I didn't want to fight Champion Collector because I'm fighting Champion Collector with level 1 weapons. So what I did was I built bank before entering Champion, and I kept 4 of my 16 inventory slots emptied because Collector starts to spawn when you have 13 or more inventory slots filled up. Yes. And since I had 4 inventory slots constantly emptied up, I was kind of suffering economy issues, and that's where bank went in handy. Or I could talk for a friend of mine called Dick Veiny Sausage. You might know of them if you watch like Darkest Dungeon content, because Dick Veiny Sausage, Dick is the best Darkest Dungeon player that I know of, and Dick did something like all bosses runs and does all bosses runs, and basically Dick might want to have fanatics spawn up, so he might end. So like Dick might enter a dungeon with like 4 cursed heroes, but RNG might go burr and just like, I don't know. The game might refuse to have fanatics spawn, and if that happens, you just retreat from the quest, and that eats up weeks and that eats up like provision costs. So Dick built bank mid game to counter that issue, to counter the issue of provision cost going poof from the game refusing to spawn fanatic. But that's like silly self-imposed arbitrary challenge runs. Yeah. Silly arbitrary self-imposed challenge runs. So yeah, bank. Sorry, not sorry. I'm gonna give it a B. Yeah. Very low priority. It's not worth it. Outright detrimental to build it early game. You're like shooting yourself in the foot. Metagaming. In a metagaming sense. Moving on. What's this one? Okay. So let me check what that one is. That one is Sanguine Vintners. Let's look at what Sanguine Vintners does. Sanguine Vintners like gives you 2 bottles of the blood brewed each week for free. It costs 80 busts and then 1 blueprint. It's kind of cheap. But the thing is, you don't need to use 80 freaking busts and a very valuable blueprint to build this one if you just pick up blood whenever you find it randomly. And then you could also do gather the blood quests later on after you beat the apprentice courtyard quest. So yeah, I really don't I don't tend to build this unless I have everything more valuable built up. I've built this week 11 in a very recent run, but because it's because I'm playing this randomizer run where bloodsucker enemies spawn very early on. Yeah, so like each game you have like full vials of blood, and then bloodsucker enemies is constantly attacking your heroes. So you want to speed up your game to build Sanguine Vintners, or your cursed heroes are either dying or getting fired. So yeah. But yeah, for normal game, for non-arbitrary self-imposed challenge runs, yeah, Sanguine Vintners belongs at something like D tier. Moving on. Oh, this is Outsider's Bonfire, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Outsider's Bonfire, yeah. So, it offers 2 additional respite points if at least one Abomination Hellion or Leper in the party, and the bonus applies only once, still not stack. Gold cost is 1,000, it's whatever. 300 freaking crests, holy heck. Yeah, like, not that big a deal. I had my friend Dick Vaney Sausage Stick do the ultimate flex, like, was gonna build Outsider's Bonfire. Could have built Outsider's Bonfire with Dick's last blueprint, but Dick is instead decided to build the Red Hook, and it does it has no purpose whatsoever except for unlocking an achievement. So yeah, you go at C, and yeah, Red Hook goes at D. Achievement yays. You just like build this once to gain the Steam of achievement. It costs a a whole hecking lot and has no like function. Yeah, that's that. And this one, what's that one? Yeah, let me check. That one seems to be Puppet Theater. Yeah, Puppet Theater. Let's see. So, increases idols just leave in town to 15 per week. Uh-huh. Costs 200 freaking crests. Gold prices like personally whatever. Yeah, any nerd or metagamer. Oh, is yeah, is that a tempting Coblet guy? Oh, stabby. But yeah, yeah, like you can just camp away stress. You can just do minimal amount of stalling to deal with stress. Like you don't want to spend the whole freaking blueprint or 200 crest unless you're playing some very niche, silly, self-imposed, like arbitrary self-imposed challenge run where your roster will not have the capacity to deal with stress. But that's like really niche. So yeah, this one goes to C as well. Sorry, not sorry. What else? What's this one? Oh yeah. This one should be Granary if I remember correctly. Let's see. Where's Granary? Is it Granary even? Yeah, it is Granary. Yeah. So let's look at Granary. Plus 15% healing when eating. Receives 4 to 10 free food every week. Yeah. Read this if you want to. The additional healing bonus also applies separately from any healing received bonuses, amounting to a guaranteed plus 1 healing to each food eaten. Costs 2,500 gold, which is small, 60 bust, which is really small, 1 blueprint. Yeah. Ta-da! Game Changer. Bank is at C, Game Changer is at S. Okay, now you know uh, what the answer is to the thumbnail in this video. So like, yeah, you've watched like you watched the big thing, but yeah. This received 4 to 10 free food for every week. You can actually reset the amount if you leave back to the estate selection screen and then come back to your estate. So you can guarantee 10 free food for every week if you're a super tryhard, or if you subscribe to a personal mod that I made. It's called 10 free food from Granary or something like that. Yeah, it just guarantees 10 free food without the shenanigans of having to reset. It's really good. Granary is just really cheap to build. It basically adds one free healer to your party composition if you're running something like a no healing vibes comps with minimal or no healing at all. And then yeah, like 10 free food per every week. It's realistically functions something like 12 because you usually get something like 2 free food randomly dropping from quest. And then that means you can tank something like 3 more hunger checks. And then nerds and metagamers, they often like farm hallway checks. It means you enter a hallway, return back to room, enter a hallway, leave back to room. You just repeat the cycle, and what happens is trap tiles or battle tiles or hunger tiles respawning in the hallways. And then if a hallway battle tile respawns, you fight the battle, and typically you get more loot from the battle. And what happens is three three more hunger, three more three more battles, three more like being able to tank 3 more hunger checks means you fight a lot more battles, and then you just get tens tens of dozens of more gold, dozens of more heirlooms. So like Granary just makes you more gold per week than bank, unless you do something very inoptimal or stupid or silly. Yeah. And I don't know, even if you're not a tryhard, you're not a nerd that will farm hallway battles, this one still gets you more healing for food, so makes your runs more stable, consistent, less dangerous, and you just, you still get more, you get some money from like free food, and then you also, what is it? You also like don't randomly tank hunger checks. Yeah. So it's really, really, really good. Like I don't know, some really casual players like people on Reddit or like yeah, people in Steam discussions, they really like underrate this stuff, but from a metagaming sense, they're wrong. Yeah. Moving on. What else? Oh, it's this one. I think this is Cartographer's Camp. Let's see. Yeah, it's Cartographer's Camp. So all levels of Torchlight are more beneficial, cost 300 crest, so it's quite expensive, but you get more loot. You get more loot. Like all levels of Torchlight are more beneficial, whether you have 100 torch or 0 torch. I mean, some special Torchlight, some special light conditions don't have Cartographer's Camp apply, such as Courtyard, which has Bloodlight. It's exclusive to Courtyard. And there's Farmstead, which has exclusive light conditions, so Cartographer's Camp doesn't also apply. But yeah, but it's really good. You get more loot, so building Cartographer's Camp will immediately start to make up for the 3,000 crest built and whatever amount of gold spent. And then you get 1% crit, which is okay. You get more dodge, which is fantastic. And then you get 2.5% more scouting chance, which is okay, fine, good. Plus 5% chance monster surprise, which is okay, good, I don't mind. And then this is the huge one. Plus loot is huge, and minus 5% chance party surprise. So at radiant light conditions, with 76 or higher light, higher torch, you have a default 10% chance of your party getting surprised, and Cartographer's Camp will just halve that, just chop that off into half, reduce that by half. So it makes your runs much more safer, and if you're a nerd or a weirdo who plays torchless runs for whatever reason, Cartographer's Camp will turn your Stygian, Blood Moon torchless modifiers into Radiant torchless modifiers, so combat will suddenly become much more easier. This is really, really huge. Like, I glaze about this all the time. It goes into S. Sorry, not sorry. I'm just objectively right, kinda. When if I'm talking about it in a metagaming sense. But yeah, moving on. What's this one? Let me check. I don't like. I'm not 100% sure. Just looking at it. That thing seems to be Athenaeum. I personally really like this, but I'll have to put this in B. The sad thing, but yeah, let's look at what it does, okay? So Athenaeum, it costs 110 deeds, which is quite a lot. So Antiquarian Occultist Plague Doctor, they receive plus 15% light chance, skill chance, plus 15% debuff skill chance, which is quite huge. You want their skills to successfully pass their checks, not get resisted, and also interacting with Knowledge Curios heals for 15 stress, and Knowledge Curios be something like this, so like dropping cocoons, you can just torch them for free stress safely. Like Like pile of strange bones. Just use holy water on them for free loot. Like, throbbing hive. Just use a torch on them for like free loot. What else? Like blood flowers. Use shovels on them. I never do really because tend to single week run the courtyard epic quest and I don't want to waste provisions on them. But yeah. Eerie coral. Yeah, use an herb on it for free random negative quirk relief. Yeah. Bas relief. I tend not to interact with these. Alchemy table. Use an herb for loot or use a torch for 1+100 torchlight. That's a thing. Yeah. Primitive scrolls. You just use a torch on it for free random negative quirk removal. And like occult scrollings, this is kind of RNG. Bookshelf is kind of RNG. Stack of books is kind of RNG unless you want to just torch it for +100 stress or something. So it's good. I want to put this at A, but I don't think I can put this at A. It's not right. I'll put this at B. And this should be, what is it? I want to check. I want to be sure. Is it? Yeah, it's Performance Hall. So let's see what Performance Hall does. Where is it? I can't find stuff. I'm blind. Yeah. Yeah, it's this. It applies only on Jester. It gives him -10% stress, which is kind of whatever, to be honest. +2 speed, which is huge. For anyone who is like late to the meta, like several years late to the meta, Jester's usual best thing to do is to use solo round 1, not Ballad. I mean, even for Ballad, like Performance always good is good with +2 speed, but yeah, you just want a round 1 solo for super huge self dodge buff on self, like 30 +30% +30 dodge buff on self at level 5 skills, and then marks himself to like get aggro on to get mark aggro against enemies. So +2 speed lets Jester use solo faster so that he is more likely to just aggro enemies before enemies act, and also manages to get the solo self dodge buff on himself before getting attacked by enemies, and then plus 20% damage on Finale is actually kind of significant because Jester with level 3 weapons and the Performance Hall built to have this buff can just round 1 solo and round 2 Finale a backline apprentice enemy for a nearly guaranteed like kill with Finale, so it's pretty good. And it's quite cheap, 75 crest, holy heck it's cheap. So just because it's cheap, you can like build this no pressure. You can just build this district no pressure as long as you have enough blueprints. So I will put this at A. Yeah. Just because 75 crests is really cheap. If you have blueprints, just feel free to build this like just build Granary first and then like you could even go like second district Performance Hall if you have enough blueprints. If you don't have enough blueprints, I like recommend you to build number 2 Cartographer's Camp again. What's this one? This should be Training Ring. Let's see. Training Ring, yes. So 5 freaking heroes. Arbalist Musketeer. I mean, they're kind of the same hero, but still. Houndmaster, Man-at-Arms, and Shieldbreaker. They receive +4 accuracy, which is almost natural swing, which gives you 5 accuracy, and plus 10% max HP, which is the equivalent to the tough quirk, which gives you 10% max HP. It costs 300 freaking crests, which is quite expensive. I'm gonna admit that, but still, it's really good. So accuracy is always good to have. You want to hit your attacks. And then plus 10% max HP. I mean, Arbalist, Musketeer, Man-at-Arms, they're already tanky, but they don't mind plus 10% max HP because heroes don't like getting killed. And Houndmaster only has a 37 max HP with level 5 armor, but Training Ring takes that to 41 max HP, which is kind of solid. And then Shieldbreaker has only 36 max HP with level 5 armor, but Training Ring takes that to 40 max HP, which is less ass. So while Training Ring is expensive, I will definitely put this at A. Okay. Not not as like Training Ring is really good, but I don't think at the level of these ones, okay? Moving up. What's this one? This is the House of the Yellow Hand. It should be. Yeah, it is. So Bounty Hunter, Grave Robber, and Highwayman, they receive 4% crit, which is huge. This is like prismatic precision perk levels, which is just plus 4 crit, and then 5% scouting chance. So it's a silly, silly arbitrary self-imposed challenge one, but Bounty Hunter, Grave Robber, and Highwayman are really good in the no healing format. No healing format, which is about not using combat healing skills. So, like, you often get like 3 heroes that get plus 4 crit, and then you get like plus 15% scouting chance because you're running all of these 3 heroes in the same comp. I tend not to run like 4 heroes, 4 of these heroes, but yeah. It costs 100 portraits, which is freaking expensive, so I'll give it that. For of for the silly self-imposed, for the silly arbitrary self-imposed challenge one of no healing, I would put this at A, arguably even at S, but like for a normal game, I just put this at B. Like these heroes aren't as strong as in just the normal format without arbitrary self-imposed rule sets. It's kind of sad, but yeah. Last but not least, this is the mill. The mill, yeah, doesn't require blueprints to build as with all the other like Color of Madness districts. Heroes will no longer suffer from random hunger checks. This is really powerful of an effect. Technically, like you will not be able to trigger random hunger checks and they'll just stay invisible in hallways, and later on if you like play a quest for like 2 hours or something, uh, even a champion long quest will be clogged up, will have piles clubbed up with hunger checks, and that will kind of interfere with your ability to farm hallways or something. But it's uber niche. Like, who the heck farms hallways for 2 hours outside of like silly stuff? So really powerful. But the thing is, it requires 10 fucking memories to build. Yeah. Memories you can get from Thing from the Stars, and if I remember correctly, you have a 13% chance of getting a memory from a veteran Thing, 20% chance of getting a memory from a champion Thing, and Thing has a 50-50% chance to spawn anyways. So you don't want to farm this from Thing. It's it's gonna take forever, you know, realistically speaking. So what you do, you wanna farm. Oh yeah, you wanna farm Sleeper. You want to farm Sleeper, so you kill Sleeper 10 times to get 10 memories, but it's really tedious. The effect is really good, but it's not really necessary to beat the game. Like, at this point, you're just building the mill in order just to build a mill, in order just to metagame, and I tend not to build a mill. This is just so much grinding. So I would say very low priority, not really worth it. It's not detrimental. Its effect is really powerful, but you're a super tryhard if you know, always build a mill. So yeah. So that's that. This is my 2025 Darkest Dungeon 1 District tier list. So, like, leave a comment on the video if you have any questions, if you want to have a discussion. Feel free to visit the official Darkest Dungeon Discord server. I'm basically almost every day like showing up on the Darkest Dungeon 1 channel in that server. Like, feel free to like give me recommendations for content that you want to watch. Like, feel free to leave a link of your Darkest Dungeon 1 campaign gameplay footage. Leave a YouTube link, and I will be generous. I will leave you feedback and ways to improve on your gameplay. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. This is actually my second time recording this because my second recording was just I didn't like it enough. So I did I did this all over again. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Hopefully this was the real me. Like, Like feel free to like subscribe, leave a comment, like leave a like, whatever. Bye bye. See you. Woohoo!